Good morning, my friends. And I hope by now you have listened to the Morning Mindset enough that you do feel like we are friends. I feel that way about you, even though I really don't know you. You've never been able to speak back to me other than comments that have been made on these Live, Build, Change podcasts. You've never been able to really connect with me on a personal level, which, by the way, if you would like to do, I would love to do. You can contact me via email is really the easiest way. Carey, C-A-R-E-Y, at livebuildchange.com. But regardless, I consider you a friend because you are striving right alongside me to build up your most holy faith in Jesus Christ. And this morning mindset is evidence of that. The fact that you're listening is evidence of that. And that is someone I can count as my friend because we are on the same path and we have a common goal. Today, I want to talk to you about fear. Fear. I remember one of the times when I was the most afraid that I can ever remember, and I'm sure it wasn't the most fearful circumstance I'd ever been in, but it stands out in my mind because of the kind of experience it was. My brother and some friends and I had been riding our bikes around our little town in the Panhandle area of Texas, and it was a summer day, and it was warm, and we were driving down by the railroad tracks, and there was this grain elevator. If you don't know what a grain elevator is, it's just a big tall building that they would store grain in. But this grain elevator was abandoned. It was old. It was rusty. It was this metal thing, and it was just abandoned. Well, we decided we were going to stop our bikes and go inside and see what was inside this old abandoned building. Now, I'm sure we were trespassing, but as kids, we didn't think about that kind of thing. We just saw it as some kind of adventure. So we decided to get off our bikes. We went in, and as we were about to go in, we started daring each other. Okay, who's going to go first? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? Well, we finally all got inside the door, and it was dark in there. The only light was coming in from far up in the top of this grain elevator and through the cracks in the big doors that we had pushed open to get inside. And so we couldn't see very well, but we could see streaming down from the top was this light, and there was a ladder going up, and it was this rickety old ladder. And so the place smelled because pigeons had taken up residence in there and all kinds of stuff. So just the whole atmosphere and environment was a little bit freaky. And you felt a little bit afraid, but also kind of invigorated at the same time, kind of like many people feel when they go to a horror movie. I don't like horror movies at all, but that's part of what people are experiencing there and why there's a rush to it. Well, we were in this thing for probably 5-10 minutes. We had climbed up this rickety old ladder all the way to the top, just a very foolish thing. But as I was coming down that ladder, I realized that it was very quiet in there. I couldn't hear the voices of my friends or my brother. And so when I reached the bottom of the ladder, I looked around and I could not see anyone anywhere. They had gone out, and I was the only one still inside. And so with a feeling of fear in my heart, I ran outside. And my brother and his friends were gathered around. They were kind of talking amongst themselves. I ran. I said, "Why didn't you guys leave me in there?" And they looked at me with this look of terror on their eyes, and they said, "The boogeyman is in there." And I thought they were trying to pull some joke on me, and I'm saying, the boogeyman is not in there. They insisted, "No, he's back in that back corner. We saw him. You go in there if you don't believe us, and you go see." Okay, well, long story short, I decided I was going to call their bluff, and I went back toward the door. I started to push on the door, and just as I was reaching for it, it opened outward toward me, and out stepped this bum, this wino, this guy who had been sleeping in there, a homeless guy. And, oh man, it just freaked me out. The fact that someone was actually coming out of that place caused this fear to rise up in me. Now, we're almost done with this episode, but I wanted to set the stage for the next few days to talk about fear, because fear is a very real thing we all experience in our lives in a variety of contexts. And I'm going to submit to you that fear is something we create. And I'm going to show you from the Bible how it's true. Join me again tomorrow on the Live, Build, Change Morning Mindset.